Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Where'd my music go? Oh, let's try it again. Let's start it again.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Hello, everyone. How are you all? I am playing with new tools. This is my second time going live using Ecamm Live. So bear with me. I promise I will get better at this as we go. But like I have new tools and new things are in different places. And honestly, I'm realizing I need new glasses because I can't see the font. So we are talking about what is getting in your way of going live. But before we even jump into that, I want to just share something that totally blew me away. When you go live, you are boosting your engagement in that space by 50%. Just stop and think about that for a second. That's how powerful going live can be to your business. It is not only about being more visible, but it is about the connection that you create with the people that are on with you live. Like you are all on here with me live here. You're all saying, hello, hi, Jamie, it's great to see you. That creates engagement. And the more engagement that you create, the more energy that you create, the more conversations you start. That's what you're trying to do. And that's one of the reasons why going live is such a powerful tool. But that's also the moment where you go, okay, I hear you, Jamie, 50% engagement. I'm in, I'm all in. I want that, right? But there's something that's getting in your way. So the question that I have for you is, what is getting in your way? So drop some comments. Today we are focused on time and the time, using time or having time as a reason why you can't go live. I don't have time. I don't have time to go live. I don't have time to go live. We're going to focus there. We're going to start there. But I want to know what else is getting in your way. So if it's something other than time, drop it in the comments and we're going to come back to it. And we're going to solve as many as we can today. I'll even stay on longer to be able to make sure that we get those, because I want you to have this 50%, oops, wrong thing. I want you to have the 50% more engagement. I want you to have this in your business because I know how powerful it can be. So we've got to get past whatever is getting in your way. Whatever is stopping you, even if it's you may be the reason, you may be the culprit. You may be getting in your own way. Does that resonate with some folks? I'm guessing so. Okay, so as I said, we are going to talk about time today. If you and I have not yet met, we've got some new people coming in for the upcoming Go Live Challenge, which is here this month. It's October 15th through the 17th. If you're not registered and you want to be registered, just type GLC, Go Live Challenge, GLC in the comments, and I'll make sure you get the link. But my name is Jamie Hain. I am a video and growth coach. And honestly, I have fallen into this trap of I don't have the time. I don't have time to do this. So I get it. I get where you're coming from. But I want to say this. That's not the real reason. We're going to talk about time because I think it's important. But I want to make sure I'm clear that there's other stuff going on. It's not time. Time is not the real thing. Because let me ask you this question. Hold on. I'm choking here. Where's my water? Hold on. Okay, here's your question. How long does it take? So if you were to say, how long does it take to go live? How long does it take to go live? So when you say, I don't have time, let's get real. Let's talk about the actual obstacle, right? How much time are we talking about? Do you have 10 minutes a week? Can you reprioritize or deprioritize something in your schedule to find 10 minutes a week? Most of us can. There would have to be some sort of extreme thing going on that would prevent you from saying, I don't have 10 minutes. Here is the thing that is most important here, okay? And by 10 minutes, I'm talking about 5 minutes to plan and 5 minutes to go live. That's where I want you to start. That's where I tell all my clients to start. I want you to start going live once a week using this little formula. Can you make room for that? Okay, let's break this down and talk about it. So first of all, what you have to realize is that you have to, I said this a minute ago, you have to reprioritize. What does that look like? What does that sound like? It's going to be different for everybody, okay? It could be that you have to look for time that you have when you're doing something else. So I think I saw somebody said, when I go for a walk. I'm looking at the comments. When I go for a walk, when I'm in my car, when I'm sitting and waiting to pick up the kids, I got 5 or 10 minutes. Yep, that's what we're talking about. That may be all that it takes, right? If that's all you can fit into your crazy busy schedule, then do it. Plan your video at one point and then take your notes with you, have them in your purse so that when you go pick up the kids in the car and you got 5 minutes while you're sitting there waiting, you can go live right from your car. That's how easy this should be. Okay, let's also talk about deprioritizing stuff. You may have to look at this and say, okay, as much as I like to binge watch my favorite show at night, instead of binge watching 3 episodes, I'm only going to binge watch 2 so that I can make time to go live. It may have to be that you make a sacrifice in there. And I get that that's sometimes not always fun, but we're not talking about every night. We're talking about once a week. So I know you can do this. Okay, let's talk a minute about, actually, I just saw it in here, right? 10 minutes can work, but it's about the discipline and the motivation. Yep. You're exactly right. That's what's getting in the way. It's not the time. We use time as an excuse because it's easy to say, I'm just so busy. I'm so busy, I just don't have time. That's just easy. And it's like we forgive ourselves because we're like, you're doing the best you can. You're doing the best you can. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing all you can. You just don't have time to go live. That's not really what's going on. There is a motivation, a prioritization issue that's really causing this issue. Okay? And you're going to have to figure out what is getting in your way. Dig deeper into that. There's a concept called the 5 whys, and I would encourage you to dig into this. Okay? 5 whys goes like this. You're going to ask yourself why 5 times until you dig deep enough to figure out what's really going on. So, why can't I go live this week? I don't have time. Okay, why don't I have the time? Well, because I'm not making the time. Why am I not making the time? Well, because I don't want to. Why don't you want to? Well, because I don't want to suck. What does it matter if you suck? You can ask those kinds of questions too. You got to dig into it and figure out what's really going on. Okay? So your first homework today is to do that. If it really is time, I think we all can agree 10 minutes you can make room for. Okay? Here's the other thing. You got to stop overthinking it. One of the things that I see my clients do all the time is they make it so big in their head oh my gosh, I gotta go live. It's gotta be this long, complicated thing. It's gotta be an hour long. I gotta plan all of this. I gotta create all this. No, you don't. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to plan, 5 minutes to go live. That's all you gotta do. In that 5 minutes, just give me a tip. I'm gonna give you a little, hold on here, let me switch this. I'm gonna give you a 10-minute plan. Are you ready? Okay. Number 1, pick a topic. What are you going to talk about? We covered this last week. If you missed last week's topic where we talked about what do I talk about, just put that in the comments. Just say last week in the comments, and I'll make sure I get you the link to last week's live. But we talked about how do you pick a topic? How do you figure this out? How do you have a theme for the week or the month? So you pick a topic. I'm going to go live and I'm going to talk about what? What is your answer to that? Okay. Then you're going to identify 3 points. 3 things that you want to talk about on that topic. These could be tips. This could be a story. This could be an example. Just 3 things. And what you're going to do, write them on a notepad, write them on Post-it notes. If you're going to be going and doing this in the car, put it in a notebook so it's easier to throw in your purse. If otherwise, put it on some Post-it notes and write down and have them handy. Okay? Between picking a topic and identifying 3 things that you're going to cover, there's your 5 minutes of planning. That's 5. Okay? Then all you got to do is actually go live. 5 minutes. That's all you're planning. Doable? I think this is doable. Let me see what kind of things you came up with here. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. And let me get rid of that. Okay. Let me see what questions and comments are coming up. Hang on here. Okay. Okay. I'm going to come back to some of these challenges. Ooh, I love that you guys are sharing this stuff. This is awesome. I love it. Okay, we're going to come back to these things. Okay. 10 minutes is possible. 5-5 plan. Go live. Got it. I am overthinking it if I'm prepared enough. Okay, we'll talk about that. Car is the best office. Totally agree. Okay. So you're with me on this 10 minutes. No problem, right? No issue whatsoever. And by the way, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to just talk about this Go Live Challenge one more time. If I don't know what to talk about and how to structure myself in that 5 minutes, then you need to come and do the Go Live Challenge. We are going to plan, using Post-it notes, we are going to plan your live. We're going to plan a 5-minute live. That you're going to show up with me for 3 days, 5 minutes a day, and we're going to plan a step of this. At the end of those 3 days, you're going to go live. You can practice in my community and you're going to have it. I'm going to show you how easy it is to plan this so that you are prepared, that you do feel confident and you got a handle on this. Okay. So if you're not registered, GLC in the comments, I'll get you the link to get you registered. It's 15th, 16th, and 17th of October. We do kick off on next week. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but this is the date of the event. Okay. All right. Now, you got this? You can do 10 minutes. You're going to do the Go Live Challenge. Got it. No problem. We can end this live right now, right? No, because you know as well as I do, because I've already seen your comments, there's something underneath it all. There's something else that we have to be handling, and that is this one. What is getting in your way? So let's talk. I'm going to pull up some of your things, and we're going to talk about it right now. So if you haven't commented and you want me to handle your obstacle, drop it in the comments and we'll get through it. Okay, so let me back up to the beginning because some of you dropped some things in here. Okay, hold on. Woo, scrolling back. Okay. Okay, Michelle says organizing myself. Okay, so Go Live Challenge. We're going to organize it for you. You're going to learn how to organize that. I don't want to give you a tip, but that's exactly what we're going to do in the challenge. So come and learn how to organize yourself in the Go Live Challenge. And those of you that have done it with me in the past, it's completely different. We're doing it completely different way. All new content, all new lives, all new workbooks. Some of the components are going to be the same, but come and do it. Okay. I fear messing up my content. Okay. I fear messing up my content. So what happens if you mess up? What's the consequence? Because you don't fear messing up, you fear the consequence of messing up. So remember those 5 whys? So what if I mess up? What's going to happen? Why am I worried about that? I mess up all the time. You guys see me? I mess up all the time. You still tune in. You still watch my content because you don't care if you mess up. You don't care if I mess up. You might laugh with me. We all laugh together. There's a confidence that comes when you are like, so what if I mess up? I'll recover. Think about it like this. When you are in real life, you go have coffee with friends. Maybe there's 5 or 6 of you around and somebody says, hey, how do you do this? And you just launch into your thing and you're just like awesome, giving them a tip. Oh, here you do this and you do this and you do this and you do this. You have a confidence with your friends because they're not going to judge you, right? You've got to feel that same way with your audience. And one of the ways that you do that is to connect with them so that you feel like they're just your friends. They aren't going to judge you. And here's the deal. If they're going to judge you because you mess up, they're not your people. Why do you want them even around you? You don't. They're going to love you because the mess up is what makes you human. It's what makes you approachable. It's what makes you real. We tend to get in this mode of, I'm a professional. There is no messing up allowed. It's crap. You can mess up. I mess up all the time. Embrace it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Interruptions. Ooh, especially because of family care responsibilities. I understand that. My husband is almost nearly bedbound. So I get the interruptions. I have a naughty dog, Otis, who interrupts me all the time. The best tip that I can give you there is this. Okay, so first of all, we're talking about 5 minutes of live. So if you can you proactively say to family member, so this might be your kids might interrupt. It could be your spouse that interrupts. It could be the dog that's interrupt. I just need 5 minutes. I need 5 minutes. So I will tend to you in 5 minutes, but I need you to give me 5 minutes. This is important. This is work related. I have to be able to do this. So you can proactively schedule that, okay? The other thing that I will look at as interruptions is say, how do I prevent that? So is it a sign on your office door that says, I'm live, do not come in? Maybe it's one of those clock things, and you can be like, 5 minutes, come back in 5 minutes. You can wait 5 minutes. Most of them can wait 5 minutes. Now, emergency situation, different. But for the most part, can you mitigate whatever obstacles you're worried about? Let me give you an example. I worry about Otis barking. So I know that he has to be locked in this office with me because if he's left running around the house, I can't control that. I know that I have to close the blinds on this window because if he can see out that window, he's going to bark at somebody. If I am expecting a delivery, I will put a great big note on the outside of my door that says, do not ring bell, dog will attack. They won't ring the bell, I promise. So what can you do to mitigate that? Emergencies are different, right? If this is somebody is literally like a child comes in and they're, projectile vomiting right here and you have to go, you just go. You just say to your life, guys, I'll come back. I'm sorry, my kid's sick. And you just shut it down and be done with it. Don't worry about that. People will understand. Okay. Hopefully that helps with that one. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is so much fun. I love this. Okay. We want to be perfect. So we say we don't have time. Yep. Man, perfectionism. It's tough, right? So again, let's go to the 5 whys. Why do I feel I need to be perfect? What will happen if I'm not perfect? There's some really deep questions you can dig into there. I need some water. And by the way, if this obstacle is something that you really need help getting past, then book a power boost with me. You can book a 30-minute power boost. I'll even give you my discounted price. And I'll help you get through this. Okay. But really, truly, perfectionism is something that we've honestly learned. We were rewarded when we were perfect. We got acknowledged when we were perfect. And so we crave that perfection. And the reality is most of the time we're bringing it on ourselves, not anybody else. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, let's go back to what Danny said. Am I prepared enough? Okay, there is a balancing act between being too prepared and not being prepared enough, right? We often aspire to, I want to be able to just grab my phone and just go live without any planning. I can't do it. I'll never be able to do it. I always have to take 2 or 3 minutes, grab some Post-it notes and be like, okay, what am I going to say at the beginning? What are the couple of points I want to cover? How am I going to wrap it up? I at least have to plan that out. Otherwise, I'll just keep talking and going nowhere. So I have to plan that. I used to feel like I had to plan everything. I used to practice and prepare for hours, plural, for a 5-minute live. And one random Saturday, I went live from my bathroom. No, I was not in the bathroom. I was giving my dog bath. And it was one of my highest videos ever. Not because I was in the bathroom and all of those things were wrong, but because I was just being myself and I was just speaking from the heart. So, bullet points over a script. If you are scripting out every single word, you are way too worried about it being perfect. It's not going to connect with your audience. The connection happens when it feels like you and I are just having a conversation, like I'm doing right now. I don't have any of this scripted out. I've got an outline of the things I want to cover. I'm following my outline, but for each outline, each point, I'm just speaking what I know. You are an expert in this space. You don't need to worry about having all the perfect words, because having all the perfect words, if I had to pick between the two, I would take imperfect words that are heartfelt, that mean something, that I feel like I connect with somebody that feels like they're real and authentic and a real person, over a perfect script. If you feel like it has to be a perfect script, that needs to go out in an email, or that needs to be a PDF document. Okay? Okay. Let's see what else we got. Everybody's excited for the challenge. Yay! I'm excited too. Okay. I get in my way, but trying to always be a good girl. Okay, let's talk about that whole good girl. Yes? That some of us, I can put myself in this situation. I grew up Catholic, and Catholics are good girls, right? We don't break the rules. We follow the rules and all of that. And there are all sorts of really great reasons why we're brought up that way. But you, as an adult now, you can define how you want to be going forward. You are in control of that. And that guilt that you feel when you're not good, that's something that you can work through. And I would encourage you to get some help, hire a coach, go to therapy, get a counselor, do something, because that is not healthy for any of us to be under that amount of pressure and guilt and feeling that we have to be good and we have to do it the good way. Honestly, some of my posts and some of my videos where I just say it like it is would be considered not good girl behavior. But that is what your perfect person really needs to hear. They don't need to hear the sugar-coated, polished version. They need you to cut right to it, and they need you to speak to them in a way that makes them go, "Oh my gosh, why didn't anybody tell me this?" Just like you were sitting around with a bunch of girlfriends saying, "Hey, you got something hanging out your nose." You would just tell them. You wouldn't worry about it, right? You got to do the same thing with your audience. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh, okay. Worried about being judged. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to leave this up. Worried about being judged. Okay. So let's go back to the 5 whys again. Why am I worried about being judged? What's going to happen? You're going to have an answer to that. Okay. I'm going to make this up. I don't know that this is what you're thinking, because they're going to think bad of me. Why do I care if they think bad of me? Well, it hurts my feelings. Okay, why does it hurt my feelings? See what I'm saying? Go deeper with the whys. Keep digging until you figure out what's really at the root of it. Here's what I would say about being judged. Are you worried that they're going to say something and that's going to make you embarrassed, that's going to ruin your credibility? Guess what? Block and ban. You don't need that person in your Facebook space. That doesn't mean you're kicking them out of your life. You're saying if you can't behave yourself, you don't get to be in this world. Okay. If you are worried about them judging you and not saying something, you'll never know. What they think of you, none of your business. They can think whatever you want. You can't control what they think. They are likely going to judge no matter what you do. Okay. I posted a reel today on my personal profile, and I talked about this very thing. What is most important for you to think about is your ideal perfect person, your ideal client. They need to hear what you are showing up to share today. It is the thing, the piece of advice that is going to help them change their life. It's going to be the thing that makes a difference. It's going to be the thing that they go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad Jamie is in my world. I have learned so much from her. I love her. She's awesome." Okay? But I'm going to choose not to show up for that person and help that person because of somebody else who's going to judge me. I'm going to let the person who's judging me stop me from helping the people that want help. You see how backwards that is? That person who's going to judge me, they're never going to buy from me. They're not my person. They don't even need to be in this space. Stop worrying about them and focus on who you help, because that's who matters. That's who matters. Okay. Let's see what else. We have to be authentic, flaws and all. In fact, the flaws and all is what people are going to connect with you on. I was going to go down a tangent. I'm going to stop myself. I'm not even going to go there. Okay. So let's talk about showing our flaws. Okay. Let's be real here. Okay. I need a haircut. Okay. My hair is, I did color it, but oftentimes I've got some gray peeking in. It's getting kind of thin. Look at that. That's not a good look. I got no makeup on. I might need to lose a little weight. I got a little bit of chub here, right? And the teeth probably need to be whitened. Let's see here. I've got some glasses glare at times. I've got lines. If you really look close, I've probably got some rosacea going on. Do you guys care? Do you care? Are you going to stop following me like right now? Are you going to be like, I'm out. Close out of this video. I'm done. I'm leaving. She has a zit. Oh my gosh, she has a zit. I'm done. I'm out. No. Are you going to not come back next week because I got flaws? No. You're going to come back next week. Why? Why are you going to come back next week to watch the next live and the next live and the next live that I do? Because you get value. You learn something. I help you improve your videos, your group, your social media, your life, your business in some small way. And that's why you tune back in. You don't care about the rest. And your tribe, your perfect people, your group, your audience, whatever you want to call them, they feel the same way. I promise. And if they don't, they're not your people. All right, let's see what else we got. Am I talking too long? Okay, so my guess is if you're questioning that, the answer is probably yes, right? If you're worried you're talking too long, you're probably talking too long. So that's why I say 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes. Go live 5 minutes. Here's a really good rule that I'll give you. If you are just going live on your personal profile, it's not a scheduled event. It's not a regular weekly training that you are doing. These should be short, 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the most. But what I would tell you is rather than focus on time, how much time am I talking? Focus on what is the person who's watching going to get. Before you plan anything in your video, I'm going to give you a sneak peek. We're going to talk about this a little bit in the Go Live Challenge in 2 weeks. What are they getting by watching this video? Focus on that first. First bullet point, first post-it note that you're going to write is, what are they going to get if they watch this video? Now that you have that objective, they're going to learn this. Now you put that front and center, put it right in front of you if you need to, so that you stay focused on achieving that. As you write out your bullet points of the things you're going to cover, make sure they're right there and stay focused on that. Focus on, I want to make sure that this video delivers on the thing that I'm giving them, whether that takes a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, doesn't matter. It's about delivering on that objective. That's more important. So oftentimes when you have this feeling of I'm talking too much, it's probably because you haven't planned it and you're freaking all over the place talking about everything. And I know that because that would be me. If I didn't plan it, oh my gosh, I would be a hot mess all over the place. Okay. So it's likely less about, am I talking too long? And it's probably more about, am I planning my video and I know what I'm saying and what I'm talking about? Again, it's not a script. It's an outline. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, you all love Otis. Yeah. We had our Go Live League, which is my membership call here this morning. And I don't know, Danny, you still love him after this morning? He was barking and distracting, and he was not a good boy. But we love him anyway. Okay. Julie says, I can never tell you're messing up. It flows naturally in your live talk. Okay. That's an important call out. The only person that knows that you messed up is who? Right? Oh, I meant to cover that and I covered that instead, or I covered this in the wrong order. No one knows that except for you. No one knows. So why are you telling them? Okay. Now, obvious mess ups, like, okay, what would be a mess up that you couldn't just naturally wing? Okay. I'm going to give some examples. What if I sneeze while I'm live? Okay. You're not allowed human bodily functions like to sneeze or to choke or to be like, hold on. Okay, I'm good. You just handle it. They'll wait for you. They are not expecting perfection. They are not expecting an edited video. It's live. Live things happen. Run with it. Okay. Am I boring? Okay, we are going to talk about this. Hold on, I've got it here. Where is it? Oh, maybe I don't have it. There it is. Here it is. On the 24th of this month, put it on your calendars. We're going to talk about I am boring and I am monotonous. What the heck do you do about that? So put that on your calendar. 24th of October, same time, same place. We're going to cover that one. The question I would ask you is, are you boring and monotonous in real life, like all the time? Do you just have a boring, monotonous tone? Or is it only when you go live? So I want you to be thinking about that before the 24th, and then come join me on the 24th. And we will do something with that information. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, because otherwise I'm going to end up covering that topic, and then what would we be doing on the 24th? So that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, I see people pop on live, and then that throws me off. Okay, Post-it note. See this Post-it note? Okay, I want you to take a Post-it note, and I want you to cover that spot on your screen so that you don't see it. Why do you need to know that? Why do you need to know how many people are on? Why do you need to know that somebody has joined? You don't. So cover it so that it doesn't distract you. This applies to comments as well. So if having the comments come in and flash are like this bright, shiny object that just distracts you constantly, Post-it note. Now, you might need a bigger Post-it note. You might need a big Post-it note. Cover the comments. And then when you're ready to take the questions, take the Post-it note off, deal with the comments, and then get back to your life. You're in charge. They're not in charge. So the reason you're being distracted is because you're letting it distract you. So cover it up so it doesn't distract you. That's the nice thing about Post-it notes. They stick and they unstick and they restick. Beautiful. And by the way, this is not a plug, although did you guys see my Post-it note post earlier this week? My favorite size Post-it note, which is this little bitty size, because it just fits better on a 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. They now come in hot pink. So excited. Where was I going? Oh, so what were we even talking about? Post-it notes. Oh, covering up what you're seeing. I know where I was going. See? Okay, right here. Back to, I think it was Julie that said, I never see you mess up. I just messed up right there. I got totally distracted talking about my pink Post-it notes that I lost my train of thought. I lost where we were going. Right? Do you care? I figured it out. I'm back on track. I'm not letting it ruffle me up. You don't care either, right? You might be sitting there going, I like her. She's fun. Be yourself. Be human. Laugh off your mistakes. Okay, so Julie said earlier, I just did it again. I lost it. There's Post-it notes. Oh, I was talking about sticky and unsticky. Okay, my point is Post-it note brand sticks better. Okay, I know the cheaper ones are so tempting because they're half the price sometimes, but they do not stick. There is some magic in the Post-it note 3M sticky stuff. I'm sure it's this trade secret. They just stick better. The other thing that I will say on your phone, if you're sticking them on your phone, because you have to cover up the comments on your phone, clean your phone before you go live, because the oils on your phone, they won't stick. So a little tip there. Okay. Danny loves my cup. Me too. Danny's got one too. She's got it in pearl white. I already told Sherry. Sherry does all my merch. I'm going to need a white one because I saw yours, Danny, and it's so pretty. I'm going to need it. So if you want, we've got two different versions. We've got I go live and I like it. And we've got I went live and didn't die. And we've got it in tumblers or t-shirts. And the t-shirts are like buttery soft. So just if you want the link, just type merch in the comments and I'll come back and give you the link. And really good pricing too. It's not crazy expensive. Okay. Let's see here what else it is. I'm just looking. Okay, Lynn says I can't read my notes. Yeah. Did you hear me at the beginning of this? Like I'm using these new tools. I'm using Ecamm Live now. And I can't read and you can't make it any bigger. So I'm going to have to figure out, I'm going to have to get a bigger screen or new glasses. And you're right, because I've got trifocals. So in order to read, I got to be like this. But you don't want to see up my nose, right? So I'm going to have to figure out how do it's all a thing, right? Do I need different glasses for when I'm going live than in everyday life? Maybe. It's the struggle is real. I hear you. That's why, again, on your bullet points, on your Post-it notes, fewer words. Write bigger so you can see it. You're not scripting it out. You are just going through. So if your notes, if you're trying to get all these words and then you end up writing in this teeny tiny font, you're not going to be able to see it. So plan for that. Bigger Post-it notes, bigger words, right? If even the Post-it notes are too small, can you have a Word doc so that you can blow up the font size so that you can see it better? There's a workaround to everything. I'm telling you, the only reason I know is I know all of these excuses. I've either used them or I've had clients use them. So we're busting through them. No more excuses. Okay. I'm loving all your comments. Okay, Stacy says, I find if I show up too excited and I got to work on slowing down and still being engaging. Yep. Okay. So if you are somebody that has just nervous energy, it's like there's two extremes here, right? There is, I have so much nervous energy. I am like a spider monkey on crack, or that boring monotonous that somebody mentioned earlier. It's like two extremes. So what's happening? Okay. The reason that's happening is you are nervous, and that nervous energy is creating that through all of the hormones and chemicals that are surging through your body. Okay. So if you are like, oh my gosh, and you're jumping off the walls, it's that surge of adrenaline. Might not be nerves. It could just be excitement. And so what happens is you got to calm it down. Okay. So think about, what do I do in the minute before I go live? If you're really amped up, it may be that I got to take a long walk with the dog the half an hour before I go live because I got to get out some of that energy. But one of the quickest things that you can do is shake it off. Shake off that nervous energy. If you've watched the Olympics, I notice it especially with the gymnasts and like the like divers and swimmers. You see them prior to their event off to the side, and they're like shaking. They're shaking stuff. They're trying to get rid of all of that. I'm just going to call it a chemical. I don't know that it's necessarily a chemical, but they're trying to get rid of all of that energy. So I want you to really think like you got a spider on your hand and you got to shake it off. Now for me, just shaking my arms is usually not enough. I got to shake my legs. I got to get up and stretch, but I got to get that out, and you got to do it right before you go live. If it comes back in and creeps back in the middle of your live, a stress ball works really well. Give your hand something to do off camera so that you can be over here just beating the crap out of a stuffed toy, but do it off camera so people can't see it. Let the energy come out here instead of on camera. Other things you can do. We talked about Post-it notes. On your Post-it note, remind yourself of stuff. Slow down, smile, take a break, breathe, whatever you got to do to change that. But what's most important, and this kind of gets back to that boring, monotonous side too, is how do you want to show up? How do you want, or maybe the better question is, what do you want your people to think about you after that live? Do you want them to be like, oh my gosh, she's so fun and happy. I love her. I love her energy. I want some of her energy. Then you can show that energy. Versus, do you want them thinking, oh my gosh, she was all over the place. She is hopped up on something. See what I'm saying? So what often can happen is we think, okay, I've got a live today. I need caffeine. I need a lot. We're going to go live today. I need caffeine because I want to be energetic. And then we down a venti, right? That caffeine, in conjunction with the already nervous or excitable energy that's in our body, it's like fuel on the fire. So I know that if I'm going live today, I got to have decaf, or I might do half, or I might say, I'm going to wait on the coffee until after my live. It's all about adjusting the things that are creating that environment that you either do or don't want. Make sense? Okay, let's see what else you got. Are you guys liking this? I'm having fun. I love going through all of this, so hopefully it's valuable. Okay, I get nervous on camera like I'm being judged or something. Okay, we talked about judged a little bit earlier. Nervousness in general really is combated a couple of different ways. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to be. The more you mess up and really screw up, because then it can't be as bad as that, you're going to grow and you're going to get better. The more you learn, okay, those of you that haven't done the Go Live Challenge, you're going to learn in the Go Live Challenge. Those of you that have been in the Go Live League, which is my membership, you have learned more. And that knowledge, when you practice it and apply it, is going to build your competence. When you know how to do something and you repeatedly do it, you're going to get better at it. It's no different than an athlete who practices their sport. They do drills, they practice things. They're practicing often more than they're actually playing the game. Same thing here. Okay? Now, if you've got debilitating nerves, then there's likely something deeper going on, maybe. And I don't know that that's the case with this person, but that could be going on with you. It may be that you've got to work with a coach. It may be that you need to work with a therapist to help you with that underlying challenge that you may be facing. You might have some imposter syndrome going on. You might have some fear going on. And until you root that out, until you address that underlying issue, no amount of practice is going to make it any different. Okay. Let me know if you got other questions on that one. All right. You guys are talking about glasses and eye struggle. I know. I feel like I just got new glasses, but it's been a while. I'm ready for new ones. Okay. Let's see here. I'm keep reading. I'm looking for questions. Like Lynn says, boom, it hit the head right on the nail there, or hit on the head right there. Okay. I'm not sure where we were talking about there, but I'm glad. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. I'm just now reading to the comments where I was picking apart my flaws, and you all are all super supportive. Okay. I want you to see this. I don't know if you can see it in the comments right now, but look at what just happened. I took a minute and as an example and pointed out my gray hair and my thin hair and my bags and my heavy, all of it. Right. And 3 or 4 people said, "You're beautiful. We love you. You're awesome. You're whatever else it is." Those are the people you show up for. You will have those too. You will have those people in your audience. You may have them already. Doesn't mean it could just be 2 people. It doesn't have to be 100 people, but slowly over time, that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And those are the people that you show up for. Those are the people that you remember and you say, I'm going live today for them because they love me no matter what. They love the value that they get. They don't even see the rest. Thank you for helping me make my point. Okay. All right. Okay, how do I serve my audience and deliver value? Okay, Danny, tell me a little bit more about what you mean by that, because I'm not sure. I just need a little bit more information. So I'll come back to this. If you'll type some more, that would be great. Sherry's on. Sherry's working on my white. Okay, Sherry, I think since I have the pink one that says I go live and I like it, the white one needs to be the other one. You're so awesome. Danny loves her cup. Okay. Okay, I see a couple people are joining late. You're fine. Here's what we're doing. We've already talked about time as an obstacle to going live. Now I'm taking what else is in your way. What obstacles come up for you that are getting in your way of going live? We're busting them right now. So if you've got one, even though you're joining us late, I'll stay on. I'm going to answer them. So drop them in the comments. Kim says, I think it would be fun to beat on a stuffed animal on camera. Yeah. As long as you can't see it, right? Like if you don't want to see this, right? But that's why squish balls, those stress balls work really good. Or those, what are they, the little things they look like little wormies. The koosh ball. Those work. Is that what they're called? Koosh ball? Because it's easy and it's soft and you do it off camera. Be careful. Make sure it's off camera. Make sure you can't see your arms doing this, because then the people will be like, what's she doing? The other thing to watch is your microphone, where your microphone is. So like if anybody who's a former teacher or trainer, pop and marker caps. I mean, it's addiction. It's almost like bubble wrap. We can't help ourselves. It's like, oh my God, it's so fun. Because you can do it with one hand and you just pop it. But so if I'm over here off camera, I'm off camera, popping that marker. You can't see me moving, but you can hear that, right? Annoying. So be careful if you're whatever you're squishing or beating up off camera, make sure it doesn't make noise. Okay. Dre, I just downed a spark. We just talked about that. We literally just talked about you do not want to bust through a whole bunch of caffeine right before you go live, because that's when you are like a spider monkey on crack. So be careful about that. Okay. Danny says, I was making a notation of what you were saying to serve my audience and focus on the value. Okay. So, if you've not, I have a whole video. I'm going to redo the whole thing, on content pillars. And it's going to be something I'm going to charge for in the future. So if you want it for free, type content pillars in the comments and I'll give it to you. They are lives like this. I'm going to redo it as a whole course on content pillars. But that's going to be really important for you. So if you identify the subject matter that you want to talk about, and then brainstorm the specifics that you want to cover, you kind of have to go through that and take a pass at that and say, what is free versus what is in my paid program? And honestly, this decision of free or paid it can be a really hard one. It can really trip you up. But here's the best thing that I will say to you. I think oftentimes we feel like we have to hold back things because that's in my paid program, so I can't talk about it. And the reality is that most of the time, people do not pay for information. Information is out there. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can find almost everything that I talk about. My guess is you could Google and find somewhere, somehow. What people pay for in your programs is the methodology, the systematic approach, the step-by-step, the accountability, the access to you, the help me apply it. Okay, so there's some freedom that comes when you say, I'm not going to hold back my content. I'm just going to give freely. And I'm going to trust the universe. I'm going to trust all my people that they're going to buy my programs and invest in my memberships, in my courses, in my whatever else, because they need those other parts and pieces. Now, that's not always the case. There have been a few times where somebody would ask me a question and I would say, you know what, I'm not going to share that because that is in my paid program, and out of respect to those who have paid for it, I'm not going to share that with you. But I will give you this. I will give you this kind of little side tip. So you do hear me say that every once in a while, but it's rare. Most of the time I freely answer. Okay. Value. Don't confuse value with how. That doesn't mean that I don't sometimes tell you how. But it doesn't, if all I do, I do not know what is going on with my throat today. It's like I got something in there. Sorry, everybody. Value and how are not the same thing. So again, when you go back to in this video, what is my purpose or my intent? What are they going to get out of this video? If you start with that, then everything that you plan on your little Post-it notes is about making sure that you deliver on that objective. So value is when you can identify what does my person need and how am I going to give that to them? How am I going to help them have a win in that area? While leaving this, if you need help, I'll help you. So let me give you a real world example. So today I have not held back. Anybody that has dropped a obstacle in the comments, I gave you a tip. I gave you an answer. Yeah? I gave you something. It may not have been the whole answer, and not that I'm holding back, but we only have this. I mean, how long have I been talking? 50 minutes. I've been talking a while. But what I can say is I'm hoping that little answer that I gave you gets you started. Maybe it solves it for you. Maybe you're like, that's all I needed. I'm on it. I think Lynn said that earlier. Nail on head. I'm golden. I got it now. But chances are when you go to apply it, you're going to be like, I don't got it. I need some help here. And that's when I say, book a power boost. You can buy a 30-minute power boost with me. Cheap. Get on the call, get on the phone with me for 30 minutes, and I'll help you go deeper and I'll help you figure out whatever that issue is. That doesn't mean that I'm not giving you the value and saying, here's how you get started. Here's what I want you to think about. Try focusing on this. Go through those 5 whys. But is that alone going to resolve the issue? Likely not. I hope so. But if not, then I am setting up people so that they want to work with me. They know that they can help me because I gave them something that made them go, oh my gosh, that's gold. I now know how to do this. I know how to get started, but now I'm still having problems. Or I might say, okay, you solved that problem, but now I got these other problems. Can I book a session with you? Yeah, let's book a session. Let's do it. See how that works? Hopefully that helps. Okay. Goodness. Okay, rambling. Let's talk a little bit about rambling. Okay, so I know I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again because it's a really good analogy. And I know we've been on long, so if anybody's got to go, you can come back and get the recording. You can always get the last bit, but I'm going to stay on. I'm going to keep answering questions. So just, this one might be a long one. Not super long. I'll probably go another 20 minutes. If you guys don't have any more questions, it won't go that long, but that's where my head is. Okay. Rambling. Oftentimes, I know for me, it's like I'm talking about something. I've done it today a couple of times. I'm talking about something and I think about something else. Like my brain just fires on this other thing, right? Whether you call it shiny object syndrome or squirrel or ADHD or whatever it is, right? Something pulls your attention away from that. Okay. And that is not a bad thing. So I want you to stop telling yourself it's bad. It's not bad. It is a tangent. It's your brain going, ooh, what about this? You should share this. I sometimes look at it and think that's my intuition guiding me. Okay. But what you have to do in that second, in your head, not out loud, sometimes I do it out loud, is I say, do I want to go here? You've heard me say this. I'll say it on camera. Okay, hold on. Do I want to go here? No, I do not. I do not want to go here. We don't have time. And then what I do is I take out my pen and I take out my Post-it notes on camera and I say, I'm going to write this note down and I'll do a video on this, or I'll cover this next time, or I'll do something so that I validate my brain and the wonderful idea it gave me, but I choose not to go down that path. Okay. Okay. Now I got an analogy, but I promise you I'm going to come back to this ramble thing. Okay. The analogy that I want you to have in your head is you're on a road trip. Okay. And you're in the minivan, you got kids and dogs and grandparents and everybody's in the van with you, right? And you're going on a destination, whether it's an interstate, a roadway, speedway, whatever you call it in your country. And we got to take a pit stop. What you're hoping is that you can take this exit and then there's that convenience store, gas station, petrol station, whatever you call it, right there at the end of that off ramp. So you can get off, do your business, and get right back on. Right? What you don't want to have happen is that you get down off that ramp and then there's a sign that says 20 miles that way. Because you don't got time for that. You're like, I'm not going 20 miles that way. We got to get back on track. The same thing happens when you go on tangents. So what in that moment where I think, okay, hold on, do I want to cover this or do I not want to cover this? What I'm thinking in my head is, can I cover this quickly? Can it be a quick pit stop, off, back on, or am I taking my audience and myself 20 miles out of the way? That's what they don't want. Because they're here for this reason, not for that reason. So you have to rein yourself in. That's when you take a note and you say, we're going to cover this later. Or you say, I'm going to give you this much, and then I'm going to do a video next week and we'll go deeper. We'll go we'll go 1 mile, but we're not going to go 20 miles. Okay? The other thing that you have to recognize is the frequency of stops. So again, road trip, everybody's in the car, we just stopped, everybody's back in, we get back on the interstate, now we're heading down the road, and somebody goes, I forgot to pee. And you're like, son of we just stopped. Fine. Get off on the next one. Goes in and pees, right? Comes back out, back on the road. Maybe you get 5 miles down and somebody says, no, I gotta go. Or I didn't get a snack. Or I thought I got this snack and I missed this snack. If you keep stopping, how long is it going to take you to get to your destination? Forever. You're never going to get there, right? So 1 stop is fine. 15 stops, not fine. So what you have to think in your head is, I have to stay on track for myself and for my audience because they're here for this. So if you're writing down your objective, here's what they're going to get in this video. Here are the 2 or 3 points I'm going to have. You have this in front of you. You stay focused on this. If some idea comes up to you and you think, oh, I should talk about this. It's a moment to go, is it relevant? Is it going to help is it help me get to my destination? Or am I going 20 miles that way? Now you have a way to deal with it and to help keep yourself on track. Okay. Now, typically rambling is because you don't have a plan. You're grabbing your phone and you're like, I'm just going to go live and let's just see what happens. If I just went live without a plan, it would be a rambling hot mess. I have to plan it or I'm all over the place. Okay. Hopefully that helps you. Okay. I just saw somebody said caffeine calms me. What? That's crazy. That is crazy. All right. Let's see here. A lot of content pillars. Okay, good. I'll get it for you. Jamie, you are amazing. Thank you. You have truly helped me on so many levels. Oh, now you're making me blush. Thank you. Patty's happy. Oh, I love it. I love it. Everybody's got to go. I know we've been on way too freaking long. Okay. I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to finally wrap us up. All right. Hold on here. I got some things to wrap us up. Stop. I got buttons and things in the way. I can't find my things. Okay. Where are we at here? Hold on here. Next week. Let's talk about that. Next week, next Thursday, we will kick off the Go Live Challenge. So if you want to learn how the challenge is going to work, how all the parts and pieces work, that's next week, Thursday. Okay. The challenge itself then is the next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. I already talked about the 24th is going to be, we're talking about how to, if you're boring or monotonous, how to course correct that. Your call to action today, 10 minutes. Go live, 5 minutes to plan, 5 minutes to do it. You can find time for this. Plan it out, have some Post-it notes. You got this. If you need help with the planning process, that's what the Go Live Challenge is all about. Okay? If you're signed up, bring a friend, invite a friend, tell somebody else you know to come and join us for this challenge. I would be so grateful. If you want a post that you can share, just let me know and I'll give you a link, and I would absolutely love it. The more the merrier. Okay. Remember where we started here. 50% more engagement when you go live. 50%. Guys, that's huge. Think of all those people. Think of all those discussions and how awesome that is. And all it takes is 10 minutes a week. Totally doable. Now, you got to be good in those 10 minutes, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you be awesome inside that 10 minutes and really maximize that experience. Okay? Okay. No more excuses. I don't have time. I'm too busy. My this, my that. All of these things that came up today, they're all excuses. No more excuses. Identify what's getting in your way. Let's get after it. If you need help, let me know. That's what I'm here for. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye. Uh-oh. I don't know where my stop button is on this. I don't know where my new button is. Oh, there it is. All right. Bye, guys.